The story opens on four siblings, and something is very wrong. One of them, Momo, is standing before the others in a fully possessed state. An evil spirit hangs over her like a shadow. Unga is convinced, absolutely certain, that this is their youngest sister, Sophie, but the others shake their heads. That's not Sophie. As Onga reaches out, trying to bring her back to her senses, trying to save her, the moment his hand touches Momo, everything changes. Onga becomes possessed instantly. Panic erupts. One by one, they touch each other in desperation, and as they do, thick black smoke pours from their mouths, curling into the air like something alive. And then, the story cuts back in time. Weeks earlier, the four siblings were scattered, each buried in their own lives. Onga worked at a corporate firm. That evening, he had an important meeting, but his boss surprised him, smiling warmly, telling him to relax and enjoy his vacation. Starting tomorrow, Onga would be on holiday, and his boss promised to handle all his work. Relieved, Onga video-called his siblings. "Let's meet tomorrow." After 4 long years, they were finally going back home. This reunion had been planned for ages. Only Nundi hesitated. She ran a boutique and had a major dress order due within a week. She didn't have time. But after everyone pleaded, she finally gave in, though she warned them she couldn't stay long. During the call, Momo asked Jojo if he had returned her iPod and warned him not to sell it. Jojo laughed it off, but the truth was darker. Jojo was drowning in debt. His creditors had threatened to kill him. He had begged for 1 week, promising that if he failed, they could take his younger brother's car. It was a lie. Still, Jojo told Momo he'd returned the iPod. All 4 siblings messaged Sophie telling them they were coming home tomorrow. She was overjoyed. We see Sophie rushing to her father, excitedly sharing the news. Her father smiles, happy that after so many years his children would finally be together again. Then, ding dong! The doorbell rings. A man named Sena stands outside, asking for help. A girl named Mila had been possessed again. At Mila's house, her mother pleads with Sena to save her daughter. Sena asks a chilling question. Did Mila go into the forest to collect firewood? The mother nods yes. Inside, Sena confronts the entity. The spirit speaks through the child, claiming it was murdered, begging Sena for justice. Murdered! But Sena remains firm. He orders the spirit to leave the girl's body and successfully frees Mila. The next day, the siblings begin their journey home. At the house, Sophie is outside cleaning when a figure dressed in black suddenly passes behind her. She spins around. But it's just her siblings arriving in their car. After 4 years, the reunion is filled with laughter and relief. They hug their father, who proudly tells them Sophie has cooked something special just for them. Upstairs, their rooms are unchanged, as if time had frozen. Momo asks Sophie if she's scared sleeping alone. "And do you still sleep with that doll?" Sophie smiles softly. "No, I'm not scared. And yes, I still sleep with it. It's my favorite." Nindi apologizes, saying she meant to bring Sophie a teddy bear, but forgot it at home. This triggers a memory. Years ago, some neighborhood kids had bullied Sophie, stealing her doll and taunting her. Nindi had fought fiercely, calling her brothers for backup. Together, the siblings chased the boys away. But the doll had torn. Nindi stitched it back together and gave Sophie a bracelet, calling it a lucky charm, something that would keep evil children away. That's why the doll meant everything to Sophie. Jojo calls everyone to dinner. Nindi says she'll join shortly. As she puts her clothes away, Nindi feels something strange, a presence near the window behind her. She closes the wardrobe and leaves. At dinner, their father asks about everyone's work. All of them are doing well. Momo asks Sophie if she plans to move to Jakarta. Sophie shakes her head. She wants to stay with her father. Her father gently insists she should build a career like her siblings. He can take care of himself. That night, Anga gives Sophie a new phone since her old one is broken. Sophie is thrilled, but she carefully locks her old phone away in the wardrobe. The next morning, they eat breakfast together. Panga stares at an old family photo. He misses their mother deeply. He suggests they all go to the waterfall after breakfast to relive old memories. They pile into the car. Jojo notices their father's old car and lights up with excitement. He learned to drive in it as a child and insists they take it instead. Panga hesitates. Maybe we should check the engine first. Jojo laughs. Dad takes care of his car. So they go. On the drive, Jojo notices everyone glued to their phones and jokes, if you don't enjoy the view, you'll get possessed. They all roll their eyes. Then, the road slopes downward. Jojo presses the brakes. Nothing happens. At first, everyone laughs, thinking it's a joke. Then they see Jojo's face. I can't stop the car. The vehicle speeds downhill, slams into a rock, and crashes violently. Everyone is injured. Fuel leaks. Fire ignites. Jojo forces himself up, dragging his siblings out. But Sophie is still inside the burning car. Suddenly, boom! A violent explosion rips through the car. Ears ringing. Silence. Jojo and Anga open their eyes, back inside their house. Anga jolts upright. Was the accident just a dream? They rush outside, asking about Sophie. No one answers. Everyone is sitting quietly, heads lowered. Momo finally speaks, her voice hollow. Sophie is dead. A sharp gasp. Jojo refuses to believe it. His mind rejects the words outright. Their father steps in, forcing himself to stay calm. He tells them to be strong, to stay inside. I'll handle everything, he says quietly. And then he leaves the house. The weight of Sophie's death crushes them. Nindi breaks first. She turns on Jojo, blaming him hard. If you hadn't insisted on that old car, Sophie would still be alive. Anga tries to stop her, but the anger spills over. Nindi lashes out at everyone. Momo intervenes, her voice steady but tired. Fighting won't change anything. Even if we hadn't switched cars, fate wouldn't have changed. That's when Sophie's phone starts ringing. Everyone freezes. Anga hesitates, then answers. From the other end, whispering, distant, "Why did you leave me alone?" Anga drops the phone like it burned him. Every single one of them heard Sophie's voice. Outside, Anga pulls Jojo aside, trying to comfort him. Don't blame yourself. Everyone makes mistakes. But Jojo shakes his head. Nindi was right.
Sophie died because of him. Inside the house, Nindi clutches Sophie's doll, tears streaming down her face. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." Then she hears Sophie's voice again, soft, coaxing. "Stay with me." The sound is coming from the window. Nindi approaches it slowly. There's nothing there. Suddenly, a cold, terrifying hand grips her shoulder. She turns. Sophie's spirit is standing right in front of her. Nindi screams. Momo rushes in. Nindi desperately explains everything, but Momo sees nothing. Later, Sophie's spirit haunts Jojo in the bathroom. From the ceiling, she drops straight down toward him. Jojo screams in terror. The others drag him out. He swears he saw Sophie too. That night, all 4 siblings sleep in the same room. The lights are on. Momo can't sleep. In the middle of the night, they hear the sound of someone sweeping. Pause. They ignore it. Momo finally asks Anga to turn the lights off. As Anga reaches for the switch, the light turns off by itself. They think Anga is messing with it. He's not. In the darkness, Anga sees Sophie lying beside Nindi on the bed. Nindi feels it too. Terrified, she jumps into Momo's bed. Sophie vanishes. The room fills with panic. Jojo tells everyone to stay quiet. Suddenly, the light snaps on. Sophie is standing there, holding her doll. She looks at Anga, soft, pleading, "Stay with me." The light shuts off again. Now Anga has seen her too. He tells the others, but Momo reminds him, Sophie is dead. Anga shakes his head. "She's still our sister." And he goes outside to look for her. Sophie's spirit passes right beside him, but he doesn't see her. Above, we see Sophie sitting silently on top of the wardrobe, watching. Morning comes. Anga and Momo discover that Jojo and Nindi both have a fever. Momo goes to make soup. The faucet suddenly turns on by itself. She jerks back and cuts her bandage. As she reaches for a bandage, a hand slides out of the cabinet. Sophie's hand. The cabinet slams shut on its own. Anga is completely shaken by everything that happened. A woman dressed in white approaches him outside. Her name is Rose. She calmly tells him she lives next door. She asks, "Have you seen Sophie?" She knows what happened last night. She says she can explain everything, but asks Anga to meet her at her house. She even knows their father. Before Anga can respond, Momo calls him inside for food. When she asks who he was talking to, the woman is gone. Their father still hasn't returned. Anga decides to go look for him. Jojo wants to come along. Momo refuses. "Dad told us to wait. Going outside won't bring Sophie back." Jojo snaps. "I'm scared of being left behind, just like my girlfriend left me." That hits hard. A brutal argument erupts. Nindi explodes, calling Jojo a burden, saying that if Anga hadn't taken him, he'd be wandering the streets. Jojo finally loses control, and the truth comes out. He paid Anga's school fees, sacrificing his own education so Anga could study properly. That's why Jojo never went to school. He worked small jobs, sending money home, because their father, a Quran teacher, barely earned enough. Everyone is stunned. Outside, Jojo admits quietly, "I never cared about studying." Then another twist drops. None of these siblings are blood related, yet their parents raised them as one family. Jojo realizes how cruel he was to Nindi. Anga tells him softly, "Go apologize." Heavy silence.
Now Anga and Momo set out to look for their father. As they step outside, Anga realizes something is wrong. The car keys are missing. They must have fallen into the old car. With no choice left, they head toward the road to find a taxi. That's when Anga sees Sophie. She's walking toward the forest. His breath catches. Sophie. Without thinking, he follows her. The path narrows, the road disappears. Anga keeps going, deeper inside. Suddenly, Sophie's foot hits something on the ground. He looks down. It's Sophie's lucky bracelet. But the moment he hears a sound behind him and turns his head, the bracelet is gone. Slowly, he looks up. Behind Anga, Sophie is floating in the air, her body hanging unnaturally, her eyes locked on him. Stay with me. Anga freezes. Then Sophie suddenly appears right behind him, inches away. Anga screams and runs for his life. Back at the house, Jojo finally apologizes to Nindi, but suddenly the real Nindi walks in from behind. She had gone out to get medicine. The Nindi standing in front of Jojo vanishes. In the forest, Sophie meets Anga again. He tells Momo that he saw Sophie clearly. Momo grabs his arm. We're going home. They try to leave, but no matter which direction they walk, they keep ending up at the same spot. Lost. Then Anga spots Rose standing silently among the trees. They follow her, and finally, they make it out of the forest. At home, Nindi is combing her hair when she catches her reflection in the mirror. For a split second, she sees her demonic form staring back. When Anga and Momo return, Momo admits it. Their father was right. They never should have gone outside. She asks Anga what he saw in the forest. Anga tells her about Rose. Without another word, Anga takes Momo to Rose's house. Rose's house is wrong. Unnaturally quiet, heavy, suffocating. Rose tells them Sophie is afraid. She wants to say something, but can't. They never said goodbye properly. Rose claims she can help them communicate with Sophie. They must sit facing west, holding Sophie's favorite object. She gives them a spell to chant. Momo doesn't trust her, but Anga takes the spell anyway. What do you want in return? He asks. Rose smiles. The screen cuts to black. Back home, Momo tells Anga she doesn't trust that woman at all. Anga, however, feels Sophie everywhere. Momo doesn't. Anga goes into the kitchen to make coffee. Sophie walks past him. Momo follows, and suddenly something grabs her leg. She screams and runs back inside. In the bedroom, Jojo hears a sound from under the bed. He looks down. Sophie's doll. As he reaches for it, a hand grabs him. Jojo yells. Nindi wakes up, and Jojo tells her everything. She keeps the doll close to her. Anga and Momo rush in. Now even Momo has seen Sophie. Anga says the only way forward is to ask Sophie herself. What does she want? Momo asks quietly, "Do you trust Rose?" She tells everyone about Rose and the ritual. Anga agrees, but doubts creep in. How did Rose know Sophie was haunting them? Fear takes over. Momo and Nindi start packing to leave. Anga refuses. "We can't leave Dad like this." That's when Rose appears at their house. She asks Anga to chant the spell. "Don't you understand yet what's happening?" she says calmly. Momo slams the door shut.
Outside, Onga sees Sophie standing there. He goes out to talk to her. Momo follows, demanding to know what he's doing. I saw Sophie again, Onga says desperately. I just want to talk to my sister. Then they see Rose walking toward them. Terrified, they rush inside. A sound comes from the door. Sophie is coming down the stairs. She's outside, Onga says, and opens the door. They see her, headless. They slam the door shut, screaming. They beg Onga to understand. That is not Sophie. But Onga is beyond reason. Holding Sophie's doll, he begins chanting Rose's spell.
Suddenly, Momo hears voices, people praying outside the house, and then the twist. We see people standing outside, finishing their prayers and leaving. A window suddenly flies open. Momo becomes possessed, and now we're back at the opening scene of the movie. Time snaps back to the day of the accident, and the truth is revealed. That day, Sophie escaped the car. The other 4 siblings died in the explosion. They ask their father the question they've been avoiding. Are we dead? Their father gently tells them to accept the truth. Everything they saw, all the horrors, were manifestations of their own minds. Sophie appears. Her father tells her softly to let her siblings go. As he takes Sophie's hand, she sees her siblings' spirits. Sophie breaks down, apologizing for not being a good sister. They smile at her. We love you. We'll meet again in the afterlife. In the final scene, Sophie and her father stand near the waterfall. Rose approaches Sophie and whispers, "Tell your father the truth. I didn't kill myself. I was murdered." And then the wind rushes and fade to silence.